Okay, thank you, Kelly. Well, when a child and parent get torn apart, things are never the same. And one author documented her story of being thrown into a rice sack by child traffickers and then scouring the world for her birth parents. What an amazing story. Joining us now is Priyanka Hammond. She's the author of Abandoned but Not Forgotten. And this obviously based upon a true story. So, we're just in this city in particular, we know a lot about human trafficking and just the damage that it can do to so many lives. And so, Dana, we're just so thrilled to have you here to talk about, just to raise more awareness about this issue. And you've been a very outspoken voice against child trafficking and abuse and neglect within the foster care and adoption system. So let's go ahead and first of all start with people knowing a little bit about your story. It starts when you were 4 years old and you were abducted by child traffickers in India, right?
That's correct.
So let's talk a little bit about what progressed from there.
Wow. So at the age of 4, when I was abducted from my family, I was put into a burlap rice sack and then carried away by foot. A stranger was carrying me away, and it just taken me God knows where. And I was very freaked out about that. Of course, because I was 4 years old, not knowing what was taking place in my life and not knowing where my family was, and just being snatched from my family, just not even realizing what's happening to me. Everything was just a scary moment for me.
Oh, I could just only imagine being 4 years old, just processing what was happening. And so eventually you were rescued by police, but then you found your way to the United States, and then you had to make your way through the foster care system. And unfortunately, you went through a lot of traumatic situations there.
Yeah. It wasn't a great growing up time for me. You know how some adoptive families, they deal with the adoptees. They have great families, but I unfortunately became one of them who was abused and was neglected with my adoptive family. So I had to be raised up in shelters and foster homes.
And can you talk about how this ultimately shaped the journey that you're on now in terms of being such an outspoken advocate for people and children that find themselves in those situations?
Yes, the whole point is to impact lives. And that's why I'm telling my story now, so I can be a lot more impactful and be a voice for the voiceless.
And it's so important. And, we just want to talk about your book, Abandoned but Not Forgotten. So obviously this is a book that's been very well received. Where can people find this book, and what do you ultimately hope that they will walk away with in terms of trying to make a positive impact?
Yes, they can find my book on humantraffickinginc.com or DanaPriyankaHammond.com, which is my author website. And this is what it looks like, Abandoned but Not Forgotten.
Well, definitely, you're making sure that your story and your voice is heard, definitely not forgotten. And we appreciate you spending a little time with us to tell us more about it. And we'll have to bring you back so we can delve a little deeper into this and we can share a little bit more about your mission and what you hope to do. But Dana, thank you so much for talking about this very important topic. And you take care and be well. We'll be back on the other side of the break.